Hello friends. So now we start the mitochondria. Mitochondria means you all know that the powerhouse of our body. So mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Why we call the powerhouse of the cell? Because they synthesize the energy, or they synthesize the ATP in the form of energy. The energy in the form of ATP, because they produce the ATP, because they synthesize the ATP, and ATP is the energy molecule of our body, of our cell. That's why we call the powerhouse of our cells. So first of all, what is mitochondria? Mitochondria is the organelles, or it is the membrane bound organelles, और दिस डबल लेयर मेम्ब्रेन बाउंड ऑर्गेनल्स. इसके जो आउटर लेयर है, इट हैव द टू लेयर्स एंड द डबल मेम्ब्रेन बाउंड ऑर्गेनल्स, एंड इट हैव द टू पार्ट्स. फर्स्ट इज द आउटर मेम्ब्रेन, देन द सेकंड वन इज इनर मेम्ब्रेन. सो दिस इज द इनर मेम्ब्रेन. बाहर जो है वो आउटर मेम्ब्रेन है, एंड बिटवीन दिस इनर एंड आउटर मेम्ब्रेन देयर इज द इंटर मेम्ब्रेन स्पेस. There is the intermembrane space. So first of all, outer membrane, then inner membrane, and then intermembrane space. So with the inner membrane produce a different outgrowth into the lumen of mitochondria. So it's called crista. Crista is the singular and the plural is cristae. So here the different folds are there which produced by the inner membrane or inner layer of mitochondria. They produce a different folds. It's called cristae or crista. So with this crista, the inner membrane space will increase. But the crista, so the remaining part, it called matrix. So the crista के अलावा जो remaining part है, it's called matrix. So matrix and cristae, this is the two part of so cristae and the matrix are the inner part of mitochondria, or major inner part of mitochondria, except the outer layer. So outer layer, then inner layer है वो cristae form करता है, crista बनाता है, and then the rest of the part is matrix. So matrix is the liquid, or it is filled with the fluid, उसको matrix बोलते हैं. So there is the fluid and cristae. First of all, the mitochondria is not easily identified, and easily we can't see, or we can't observe easily mitochondria in the microscope, because it is colorless. So if we want to see these mitochondria, we use the specific stain for this mitochondria. There are the so many specific stains, so many तो नहीं है, लेकिन एक दो there are specific stains which is useful. एक नाम मैं आपको दे रहा हूँ, Janus green blue. Janus green B बोलते हैं, which is especially used in the staining of mitochondria. So mitochondria के लिए वो use होता है generally. So now next, so what is the length and diameter of mitochondria, ये आपको याद रखना है. So the length is 1 to 4.1 micron. The length is 1 to 4.1 micron and the diameter is 0.221 micron. ये उसके बीच में कोई भी उसका measurement हो सकता है. So it is variable. In some cells the mitochondria are small or large. But the second thing is the number of mitochondria present in the cell, which is variable according to cell by cell. If you see the muscle cells, you can observe the so many mitochondria are there. But if you see the cheek cell, or if you see the normal skin cell, उसके अंदर जो mitochondria है, which is very less amount. So the amount of or the number of mitochondria which is variable. So in some cells they are large in amount, and the second in some cells they are less in amount. So mitochondria की जो amount है वो different है, variable है. Now the second thing is whole or the chief metabolic processes or chief physiological processes are occurs in the mitochondria only. ओके मैंने पहले ही बोला कि दी एनर्जी प्रोडक्शन जितने भी प्रोसेस हैं दे आर सो मैनी मेटाबॉलिक प्रोसेस विच प्रोड्यूस द एटीपी ओके विच प्रोड्यूस द एनर्जी दे आर मोस्टली अकर्स इन द माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया. There are two places which give the place, or sorry, there are two locations okay for this metabolic process. First is the matrix, उसको बोलते हैं matrix, and the second one is Christie. Christie की जो layer है which means inner layer of mitochondria, which is also a place of the metabolic or physiological events, and the second one is matrix also give the permission to done their metabolic process in the matrix. Okay, so there are two locations. Okay, and the second thing is mitochondria के अंदर there are so many processes. First is the Krebs cycle, or the second one is TCA cycle, which is occurs in the mitochondria only, in the matrix of mitochondria. Yet this is the specific. The Krebs cycle happens only in mitochondrial matrix, and then second one is ETS. ETS. So ETS is also happens in the mitochondrial inner membrane. Okay, वो matrix में नहीं होता है, ये आपको याद रखना है. Electron transfer system ETS and Krebs cycle. This both process is for the oxidation of food or degradation of food and production of energy or production of ATP. These both processes are for the production of energy. Okay, ये energy production के लिए हैं and they happen in the mitochondria only. ये सिर्फ mitochondria में ही होती है. Krebs cycle and electron transfer system or ETS. Okay, so this is all about the mitochondria. Second and more important, or rather most important thing is mitochondria is the self-replicate organelles. वो अपनी self replication करता है and they produce the another mitochondria from its own. Okay, वो खुद से ही they produce the new mitochondria. Okay, so एक cells दो cells बनाता है, cell division होता है, same as एक mitochondria से दो mitochondria बनते हैं. That's why it is self-replicated organelles. Okay, ये self-replicated organelles है because they have their specific DNA. They have the specific DNA. So mitochondria के पास उसका खुद का DNA है. This is the extra DNA from chromatid material or genetic material. ये genetic material के एक्स्ट्रा उसके बिना, यानी ये कंसिडर नहीं होता जेनेटिक मटेरियल में. ये डीएनए है वो स्पेसिफिकली माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया का है. सो माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया हैव देयर ओन डीएनए, दे हैव देयर ओन रिबोसोम. The 70S ribosome is present in the mitochondria. So mitochondria have their own ribosome, their own DNA, their own RNA also. Okay, so they have the different proteins, different enzymes which is only present in mitochondria. So that's why mitochondria have the enzymes, the ribosomes, RNAs and DNA. Okay, so mitochondria के अंदर fully developed organelles हैं and well developed organelles हैं. That's why it is not present in prokaryotic cell. Okay, so it is only present in eukaryotic cell, animal cell as well as plant cell. Okay, so this is all about the mitochondria, and mitochondria is most important part for energy production. Okay, इसके बारे में डिटेल, इसमें क्या क्या मेटाबॉलिक प्रोसेस हो रही है या वो कौन सी फिजियोलॉजिकल प्रोसेस हो रही है वो आप देखेंगे इन फर्दर और नेक्स्ट चैप्टर्स में. लाइक 14 चैप्टर जो आपका है उसमें आपको देखना है कि कौन कौन सी मेटाबॉलिक प्रोसेस यहाँ पे हो रही है. ओके, सो दैट्स व्हाई माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया इज द मेजर और चीफ ऑर्गेनल्स ऑफ योर सेल. ओके, सो दिस ऑल अबाउट द माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया. ओके, सो दिस इज इनफ फॉर द डे. नेक्स्ट मिलेंगे विथ द न्यू ऑर्गेनल्स. ओके, बाय.